Hello and welcome, dear students, in the very first lecture of the virtual class. I'm your social science teacher Esha Puri. Today we are going to start first chapter of geography, that is resources and development. But before we start, I would like to mention that don't forget to like and subscribe this channel so that you can be easily notified about the new videos. Let's start. Our Earth is a unique planet which has opportunities for survival and sustenance of life. Our natural environment is a vast storehouse of innumerable usable substances. We need these things to fulfill our basic needs as well as to satisfy our urge for a better living. So, everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable can be termed as resource. Now, what do we mean by this? Actually, these are the features of resources. Economically feasible means that the value of metals or minerals is very important. Minerals of high value like gold, diamonds, etc. can be mined at high cost because they are in great demand and fetch high prices. Cost should also be taken into consideration. For example, if the minerals are present in less quantity, our cost of mining will be more. In that case, it is not worth mining it. Not only this, it should be economically feasible for the people. Number two, culturally acceptable. This means things that are being acceptable in the culture, the things that are allowed to be observed without hindrance and objection. So it must be ethical and according to the norms of the society. Number three, technologically accessible. Suppose minerals are buried deep inside the earth near the core. We are not able to take it out with the help of machines. It means it is not technologically accessible. Basically, technology needed to use the resource must be available. Now, see the diagram. It is showing interdependent relationship between nature, technology, institution and human beings. Human beings are essential component of resources. They transform material available in our environment into resources and use them. For example, we are getting cotton as a raw material from plants. That means from nature we are getting cotton. Then human beings use their skills to convert that cotton into clothes with the help of machines. That means technology. And they are doing this in a factory, that means institution. So basically, this shows they are interdependent. Now resources can be classified in following ways. See the flow chart. Types of resources. We have divided resources on the basis of origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and on the status of development. On the basis of origin, we have divided resources into biotech and abiotic. Biotech means the living component. These are obtained from biosphere and have life. For example, human beings, flora, fauna, etc. Abiotic means the non-living component. So all the things which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. For example, rocks, metal, wood, etc. On the basis of exhaustibility, resources can be categorized as renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources can be renewed easily. We can use these resources again and again. For example, forest, wind energy, water, etc. Non-renewable resources. These resources take millions of years in their formation. Non renewable resources like fossil fuels cannot be recycled and get exhausted with their use, for example, coal, etc. On the basis of ownership, we have divided it into four types. Number one, individual resources. They are owned privately by individuals. Basically, they show possession of individual person over a resource. For example, my car, my house. Number two, community owned resources. There are resources which are accessible to all the members of the community. For example, public parks, picnic spots. We cannot deny anyone to enter these places because they belong to the community. We are not having individual possession over it. Number three, national resources. National resources are those resources which belong to nation. Technically, all the resources belong to the nation. The country has legal powers to acquire even private property for public good. All the minerals, forest water, resources, wildlife, land within the political boundaries, and oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles from the coast termed as territorial water, and resources therein belong to the nation. Now, what is this nautical miles? It is a unit of measuring distance at sea. See in the diagram. This is the coastline of India and water till 22.2 kilometers. That means the 12 nautical miles. It is under the territory of India. Now, international resources. These resources are regulated by international institutions or organizations. The oceanic resources beyond 200 nautical miles of the exclusive economic zone belong to open ocean, and no individual country can utilize these without the concurrence, that means without the agreement of international institutions. On the basis of the status of development, we have divided resources into four types: potential, developed, stock, and reserves. Number one, potential resources. Resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized. For example, Rajasthan and Gujarat have enormous potential wind and solar energy, but so far these have not been developed properly. Maybe the setup cost is very high, that's why we are not able to use it fully. Number two, developed resources. These resources are the resources which we are using currently. Their quality and quantity is known to us. For example, wood, coal, etc. Stock. Material which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have technology to access these. For example, water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, which can be used as a resource of energy, but we do not have the required technical know how to use them for this purpose. Number 4, reserves. Reserves are the subset of the stock. These can be used for meeting future requirement. For example, water in the dams, forest, etc. is a reserve which can be used in future. That's all for the day. Now, note down your homework. In next video, we are going to continue the same chapter. But don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Thank you.